Okay, so moving on to page 482. Up here we are working with um, numbers 1 through 4. Okay, so here we have to look at what the graph represents. So let's look at the labels. On the x-axis, I see it's talking about a game. Here it's talking about points scored, probably for that game. And over here, oh yeah, look, it's talking about Bobby scoring. So this is probably what Bobby is scoring throughout his game. What does the 0.79 represent? Well, we'll come over here to 0.7. Okay, remember right over here. And up to 9. So what does this point represent? Look at this x-axis. It represents game. Okay, so here he had game 7. And up here it says 9. And that's the points scored. So it looks like in game 7, Bobby scored 9 points. Okay, and then continue for that. You do not need to do only 1 through 4 on this page. Okay, so moving on over here, it asks about one of Europe's fastest trains is remarkable because its parts are nearly all renewable and sustainable. So that part doesn't seem important to me for my WIC. I don't need that to solve the problem. The coordinate grid shows how far the train can travel in a number of hours. Okay, so here it talks about hours, the distance it travels in miles, and the distance traveled. It wants you to find the point 660. So again, look at the points over here. Looks like 3 might be here. And we're going to go up to 660. What does this point represent? So just like we did over here for Bobby for 7-9, and I talked about what 7-9 represents, you have to do the same here for 3 and 660. Okay, we are using the graph for 9 and 10, so that was problem 9. This is problem 10. Suppose the title of the graph is changed. Okay, so now let's say that the title of this graph is no longer distance traveled, it's a runner's distance. How could the labels of the graph be changed? So would I change this from hours and would I change this from distance? It's up to you. And then what would the point 3 and 660 represent? Okay, do you think that in these number of hours that they would be running this many miles? Okay, so we can't change the numbers, but we can change the labels. Okay, so maybe this stays hours, maybe this changes into something a little um, less. Okay, and then finally for the last part, um, sorry, I'm having a hard time moving down. Over here, it talks about 2 points are shown on the vertices on the left side of the rectangle. Okay, on the left side is the side of a rectangle. So this is a rectangle that it's trying to make here. This is its left side. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a rectangle to have a frame of reference. Reading on to the first bullet. If the rectangle has a perimeter of 20, so if this has a total perimeter of 20 units, okay, that's important too, part of my WIC. What are the coordinates of the other 2 vertices, of the other 2 points? Okay, remember vertices is where 2 lines meet. So this is a vertice, that's a vertice, vertice, vertice. Remember, a rectangle has 2 equal sides opposite of one another. So if over here I have a perimeter of 1, 2, 3, 4, here I have a 4 as part of my perimeter, I know that my other side also has to be 4. Okay, so if these 2 sides together make 8 and the total thing makes 20, what do you think each of these sides is equal to? And then once you figure that out, you can count that many spaces and plot your points. Okay, and then give your 2 points here and explain how you figure that out. All right, if you have any questions, boys and girls, please comment below on this post. Thank you. I'm so excited to see y'all work.